flowed and music played. By the world that surrounded her, she saw in him a freedom she had never. Their love ignited while the steel beneath them held its breath. The steel bends, water rises. As corridors flood and the ship...
They call him the soft boy, the next DiCaprio, the Gen Z heartthrob, but behind the floppy hair and vintage red carpet fits, Hollywood insiders are whispering the same thing. Timothée Chalamet is dangerous, not because he misbehaves, but because he refuses to play their game, and the system doesn't know how to control him. Timothée Chalamet entered Hollywood the right way: acting school, stage roles, Oscar nomination at 22. But here's the twist. Instead of clinging to blockbusters or branding himself for mass appeal, Timothée made his own lane. He picked roles that felt risky: a queer teen in a tender romance, a boy addicted to meth, a cannibal in a love story. That's not how a rising star is supposed to play it. But he did, and every time, he won. And suddenly, studios weren't shaping his image. He was. Timothée doesn't have a celebrity personality, no crazy parties, no social media meltdowns, no beef. He's soft-spoken, private, and when asked how he navigates fame, he said, "Don't do anything you wouldn't want seen on a billboard." That terrified PR managers, because how do you market a star you can't predict? He once said no to superhero roles, not because he hates them, but because he's not ready to sell out. Meanwhile, every other actor his age is begging for a cape and a billion-dollar franchise. But Timmy? He wants craft, not clout. Hollywood doesn't hate him. They're just scared they can't mold him. And then came the Chalamet effect. Suddenly, vulnerability was back in fashion. Boys on screen weren't just tough, they were sensitive, quiet, thoughtful, messy. Producers started looking for their own Timothée types, young men who could cry, who wore pearl necklaces, who didn't need to be macho to command a scene. He didn't just shift casting rooms, he shifted culture. But that also meant he challenged every outdated power player who still thinks men have to be hard to be respected. Here's why the fear runs deep. Timothée Chalamet has box office power and indie credibility. He can do Dune and then shoot a $3 million festival film in the same year. He gets invited to fashion weeks but doesn't sell out. He walks red carpets but doesn't beg for attention. He dates A-listers and never talks about it. He's become the guy everyone wants to copy. But no one can figure out. He didn't storm the gates of Hollywood. He quietly rewrote the rule book. So why is Hollywood afraid of Timothée Chalamet? Because he's the one thing power hates most, a star who doesn't need it. He's not a product. He's not a puppet. He's not even trying to be perfect. He's just himself. And in a town built on performance, that's the biggest threat of all. You've been watching StarShock. Drop your take below. Will Timmy reshape the next generation of stardom? Or is Hollywood already trying to tame him?